everybody. We're happy to see you. Thank you for being here with us tonight. We just got finished playing a healthy, very healthy game of Call of Duty Zombies, which is something we're very into right now. With Max, we play as a family, and we have a great time. Teamwork makes a what work, Heather?
Dream work.
That's right. So earlier today, I don't know if you were watching me on Mischief Toys Instagram. I was hanging out, stickering up boxes, our Day of the Dead figures, and I had a bunch of you there to hang out with me. So thank you for hanging out with me today. Heather ran off to go to a baby shower, so it gave me a little something to do. We are getting all that Mischief Toys stuff together, ready to go, and shipped out. So this week we'll be working hard to get a lot of this stuff out of here. We got a little bit out yesterday.
A little bit out this week, but yeah. I'd also like to mention that things are going out of order. There is a very good reason for it. It's because we are sloppy. We're digging our way out. Yeah, we came home from New York Comic Con. We both were feeling under the weather, so we just sort of sat stuff everywhere. And we're basically doing stuff not in order of drops, but in order of us just being able to move in the warehouse. There are boxes everywhere. There you go.
Oh, Doug, I can't wait to see the morning pictures. So tonight, why are we here? We're here not only to talk about Mischief Toys. If you haven't gotten your Day of the Dead Ghastly, go and buy it. It's on MischiefToys.com right now. We also have some of those zombie plushes and also pumpkin pin boards with pin. They're still available on the website. Go over, pick yours up now. We also have some of those New York Comic Con Demonstros. I was showing those off earlier today as well on Instagram. Go and follow us on Instagram, Mischief Toys, at Mischief Toys. Check us out. Look, we're here for a very good reason. We're here to talk about disc trackers from Instagram. One of our friends, we really love how he services us. He services us very well, and we appreciate that. He's a great person. We met him for the first time at New York Comic Con. We met him in person after all these years of talking over Messenger and commenting and sort of talking through comments. We finally got to see him. And it just so happened on that very day, the CEO of Funko walked over to the Mischief Toys booth, which is still unbelievable to me, to chat with us and to see what we're about, see who we are, see what Mischief Toys is. And right behind her stood discs and Funko finders hanging out. And my plan in my little old head was trying to get her together with both discs and Funko finders to sort of introduce them. Wasn't entirely sure if it was the right thing to do to have them sort of connect. I didn't know if discs and Funko finders wanted that. Heather kind of told me don't.
I didn't say that.
Sort of.
I said don't point.
Heather said don't point. I did. I pointed. But Heather said not to.
There are people that like watch us.
What?
They watch.
What do you mean they watch?
They watch.
Watch what?
They watch what we're doing. And you were saying very loudly, that's dis over there. I'm like, Chris,
stop
it.
You're saying that I was letting the cat out of the bag for other people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, at this point, I really wish that I would have made that connection. Therefore, they could have talked a little bit. Maybe, I don't know. When you meet somebody and you talk to them face to face, it changes things sometimes. I know that from a fact, just in the fact that when we go to New York Comic Con, people approach us and they're like, oh, I watch your channel. I really like your channel. But you guys are this or you guys are that. And then they eventually realize that, oh my God, well, I really like you and you guys are great people. You know, you never know what can change in a face-to-face meeting. So it didn't happen. I kind of wish now that it did. So Dis ended up posting on Twitter, which prompted this whole video. And I want to talk about what Dis said on Twitter. I think you have it. I want to talk about it. And I want to beg that Funko do whatever they can to work with Instagram. So this is an Instagram thing and not a Funko thing, okay? Instagram is who is really holding Dis down, but they're holding Dis down for many reasons. Dis was turned in or reported, which caused a lot of issues. Thank you for the belated birthday. I appreciate that, Funko News Canada. But there was a lot of reasoning as to why this all happened. One thing that really shocks me, or one thing I don't understand, I guess, is that there are people who, and I've said this before in videos and maybe on lives, but there are people who are basically like, who gives a shit? Like, what's it matter? Who cares? Who cares if he's no longer on Instagram? And who cares about his account? And who cares? Who cares? Who cares? It's stupid, boo-hoo, right? They say all these really nasty things.
It's not stupid. That's how so many accounts like this are part of the reason you and I are still in collecting
business.
Funko.
Right, that's right. Doors still open because of stuff like this.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we wouldn't know Funko News if it weren't for the Funko News resources. We don't get Funko News. I mean, sometimes we get Funko News, but it's rare. Most of the time, we get it from Dis and Funko Finders.
Yeah.
Funko News Canada.
They post a lot of things, like a lot of links, and they show us previews of things we might not see ourselves.
So there's a really good reason why this is a problem for everybody, literally everybody. This is a big problem. We're going to read through what is said on Twitter. But one of the things that sort of got him reported and in trouble was somebody had an item in hand. And this picture was posted by Dis, and it was reported that it was a leak. The item was in hand. So, look, not all of us are going to get in trouble with Funko because we don't all have the same reach as somebody like Dis or somebody like Funko Finders. But Gasslecast, I mean, we have, how many people follow us on there? 7,000, something like that. It's not a crazy number.
Yeah, not many.
But anybody who has some sort of presence on Instagram that is talking about Funko News, this is a warning to everybody. Be careful what you post when it comes to Funko. And I told the CEO myself, Heather knows this, and I probably didn't do it in such a great way. I'm like a bull in a china shop. Yes, but I was like, these are your most important people over here. And this is when I'm pointing at Dis and Funko Finders. Heather says, stop pointing.
That's Dis right over there.
Stop doing that. But I was pointing because they are important. There are important aspects to this whole thing. And not only for us to be able to provide you news or to discuss certain pieces of news that happen with Funko, but they also sell a ton of Funko product. And maybe Funko... I know they understand that, and what the issue is that their license, the licensors that they deal with, they don't want this kind of leak stuff happening. So therefore, they tell Funko, you better jump on this, you better get it situated, and don't F around because you could lose a license. Nobody wants that.
Yeah. So Funko is protecting their IP, but I feel like they're doing it in a weird way.
Well, hold on. So all this stuff is being reported, which really makes it sort of not only just a Funko thing, but an Instagram thing.
Yeah.
So Instagram is trying to do the right thing based off what Funko is asking for.
Yeah.
Now, the way that it was explained to us, the CEO explained that Funko, somebody at Funko, it doesn't sound like it was her, Cynthia Williams. It was somebody else who is handling all this stuff. They're the ones who sort of did the follow through with Instagram. But as soon as she found out about it, she was trying to make that change, right? Trying to flip that thing around where he no longer was blocked out and he would get his account back. But here we are, how many weeks later after New York Comic Con? Which, oh my God, I cannot believe it's been that long.
Same.
Like, hasn't it been like 2 weeks now?
Mm-hmm.
So 2 weeks later after New York Comic Con, after we had that talk, which I could guarantee you that no one else was a bull in a china shop like me, telling her all my grievances, airing all my grievances. It was like I don't know, like, you ever see those things where it's like a community meeting and there's some person that walks up to the podium and they just start talking, well, the road has a problem in it that needs to be fixed. Gotta fix the roads. That was me. I was yelling about fixing the Funko roads. But I want to go over the Twitter post by Dis. I think Dis is a brave person for doing it because he's basically like, look, here are all the things that led up to this. Here are the problems that led up to this. And I feel like that a lot of this is BS. I think it's unfair. I think that the fact that this can happen to anybody, this is a concern, not only for Funko, when it comes to Funko products, but anything. If you're the third person to share something and you get turned in, I don't understand why it's like that. It should start with it should go to the source. The source should be the one that's reported or the one that finds trouble. Not the people who are sharing this news that's all over the internet.
So let's talk about the situation that actually was the third strike. So the third strike was the back of an Agatha All Along Funko Pop. Now, as we all know, on many Funko Pops, not all of them, many Funko Pops, on the back is like the other Pops in the little collection of Pops. And some might have a few, some might have a lot. So right here, you can see other characters. Apparently, what happened was there were like 2 or 3 characters on the back, and it was considered like a Marvel spoiler.
Yes.
So like whatever those characters were, which I wouldn't have known it were a spoiler.
Had no idea.
Whatever those characters were some sort of spoiler.
Yeah.
They were in an episode that hadn't aired yet or something.
Yes.
Dis cited his source, and the source was a toy store somewhere. In my opinion, Dis could have been an innocent bystander. Like I said, I wouldn't have known that it was a spoiler. I would have just seen, oh, here's some other Pops that we haven't seen yet coming up.
Right.
So, but a Marvel fan might say, oh shit, I didn't know that
was this character.
Yeah. I didn't know that they were going to be in this show or whatever. So, in my opinion, the person who should have gotten in trouble was the store who has a wholesale account with Funko. They should have gotten a slap on the wrist. 100%. And I don't want to say, screw that store or anything, but if there is a street dated product that they're not supposed to release until X date, they shouldn't have shown a picture of it.
Completely agree.
And that's my guess as to what happened. Unless Funko didn't specify a date, which I would imagine they did. Typically, when you receive cases of Funko Pops, it'll say, like, do not put on shelves until X date.
Right. Or they have some sort of information. Okay, let's read the grievances. Let's read the problems. So what's on Twitter? Let's read that.
Okay, so Dis says...
And then I'll comment on each one.
Am I gonna read the whole thing, or are we commenting as we go?
As we go.
It's unbelievable that my main Instagram account has been disabled for 5 weeks without any update from their appeals process. The Meta-verified badge proved to be ineffective as they provided me with generic responses that were comparable to those I would receive from a Google search. The sole reason behind the page's disablement was a submission of 3 reports. Okay. So it's apparently like a 3 strikes you're out rule.
That's the amount of times that they have to say Beetlejuice for him to show up, by the way. Is there a coincidence? I'm just asking. Is there a coincidence?
Dis did the opposite of showing up. They made him go away.
They made him disappear. So you say Dis 3 times and he disappears. Okay.
The first report came from Abernathy. And I'm not sure if you guys know who Abernathy is, but he's a
customs guy.
Customizer. He customizes Funko Pops.
I actually bought one.
Who claimed copyright infringement on a post that I had credited him on. However, it seems that something upset him, leading him to make this claim.
That's really interesting.
That is interesting.
Wonder why.
Yeah, I'm very curious about that.
Now, of course, we didn't go to him to ask because, well, I don't know him like that, first off. But second off, that's a weird one.
It is, and my question would be,
does he not like this?
Was it that? Or, like, did Dis share a custom? Because, in reality, Abernathy doesn't... I mean, he might own his artwork, but his customs are on Pops, right?
I don't know.
So how do you get around that?
What I know about him is that if Funko makes a Pop that looks similar to something that he had created before, this is what I've just noticed on social media, so I'm not talking shit. But I noticed that when Funko makes it, that he's like, oh my God, they took my idea. Like, that's usually the exact reply to that. So
I've seen that.
I think that's sort of in the same vein of this as well. Like,
it could be.
Maybe that's just who he is as a person. I don't know. I don't know anything about him other than I bought a really cool custom. And frankly, Funko, they make everything. They make everything. And honestly, they could have seen his stuff and made it. But you would never know. You would never know.
Or
he could be right. I don't know.
He could be right, or maybe his ideas were in the works. You know,
or that too.
That's like us creating pumpkin ghastly from last year. But what if somebody had decided they were before we made it, they had this idea of making like a jack-o'-lantern ghastly.
Sure.
And then them saying, "Oh, you stole my idea."
Right.
You know what I like? Anyone can, like jack-o'-lanterns are a well-known thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I completely agree. Okay.
Yeah, you never know what the process is. Did Funko actually see it, or did Funko was it in the works?
Rooster says he thinks. Oh, I can't say that. It's right there.
Oh, right there.
Rooster says he thinks everyone steals his ideas. Huh. Dean says this probably didn't agree that Abernathy is the sole owner of painting shit in a galactic way. Okay. Martin says he's relaxed to Tekashi 69, little rat. Oh boy.
Oh my.
To the Rescue says, I feel internet services should be required to provide details about what causes suspension or bans, especially if someone is paying for any part of the service, like the meta-verified mark. Yeah, I don't know if they gave him more insight into, I mean, he knows all the reasons why it happened, so I'm sure that they gave him enough, but I don't know the insides of it, obviously. Abernathy invented vinyl figures according to Abernathy. Rooster says, Mr. Yak, my Funko design a character entry was a jack-o'-lantern guy. Interesting. No, well that explain. He's the guy who created Pumpkin Ghastly.
Must have been.
It's right there. It's right there. To the Rescue says, too many just ban and do not provide any info or resolution. They take the report as true and then do not acknowledge anything from those affected. You know, it's funny. We have so many people that just berate us in other people's posts, especially Dis's posts, about Mischief Toys. They talk personally about Heather and I. They bash the ever-living shit out of us, and I report them, and nothing happens.
No.
So how is it that Dis is being taken down, but people can talk about my character and not be pulled down? That I don't understand. Heather, read the next one.
The second and third report was filed by Funko, who alleged copyright infringement on 2 separate posts. One of these posts featured Lady Deadpool in hand and had been reposted from a public account.
Look at that.
So basically Dis took an image of a pop that was in somebody's hands.
Yep.
Somebody owned it.
Yep.
He screenshot it. I would assume credited them because he credits everybody from what I've seen.
Right.
That he knows of. And then just reposted it.
Something very wrong about that.
So why is that? He didn't say, hey, I got my hands on this early because I did something bad. It was, hey, here's a first look at this pop. Credit so-and-so. Why isn't that person in trouble?
That's my point. I don't understand that. It makes no sense to me. I think it's a bunch of crap, honestly. David, Disney is very serious when it comes to going after Lee. Well, this isn't Disney though. That's the difference. I mean, no, I get your point. And I'm not saying that you're wrong, but this is a Funko reporting thing, and then it's Instagram. So well,
if it's Marvel...
Well, Funko is doing it because of...
Yeah.
Right, no, I get that. I get that. I'm saying Funko is doing it because of that. Because they don't want problems with Disney.
Correct. So Disney is very, very strict. Apparently stores get taken down from Etsy very often because...
There are so many stores on there selling Disney
I know, but they get pulled all the time.
My point is, based off what David's saying, Disney is not involved in this based off what we know. Do you understand? Like, in other words, Disney... It would be
almost like secondhand. So, essentially, Funko owns a license. They don't want to lose Disney, so they are therefore hardcore protecting it.
100%.
So, that... It's... I would imagine indirectly related to Disney.
Indirectly, yes, but Disney is not the one saying...
Disney's a huge license. I mean, you have Disney, you have Star Wars, you have Marvel. What else?
Right.
You know, there's so many licenses that fall under the Disney umbrella.
So I take issue with the whole taking a photo of something that you have in hand that maybe that you own or it's yours or whatever it is. I take issue with that because that could happen literally to anybody. I mean, we could go to a store like the turtle dogs that are over at Target right now, as an example. You could easily somehow buy one and post a photo, and then they would refer to it as a leak, and then you get in trouble. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like stuff like that. Anything could happen. I really don't like the idea of being reported for posting a photo of something that is in hand that an actual person owns. Like, there has to be a line drawn somewhere. I think there's something very wrong with that. That's my opinion.
I just want to, like, if someone had Lady Deadpool in hand and it wasn't supposed to be in hand, why aren't we going after the store
100%
that allowed that pop to be shown?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's just goofy. And then...
Yeah, I understand that he's targeted because of his reach. I totally get that. Yeah, that makes sense. I get that.
The other post like we talked about, the other post contains spoilers from Agatha from a toy store site. While Funko has since retracted their reports, their assistance has had no impact on Instagram's end. To my knowledge, no other companies have reported any issues with my account.
Yeah. So, those are the reasons. Abernathy happens to be one of them. For whatever reason. And then the having a product in hand, and then the Agatha all along. So these are the three main reasons as to why all this happens. And this is so important, you'd think that Funko would say, you know what, we probably should literally fly over to Instagram or drive to Instagram and toggle that switch over ourselves, because this could be losing money for them. I honestly believe that they have lost sales over the fact that this is no longer up and running. And other news operations that share Funko stuff, you can kick, scream, cry, get angry over the fact that I'm saying that, because for whatever reason, a lot of people are saying, who cares? But it really is big business for Funko, and I know it's good business for this. And I hate to see somebody out of business due to the fact that Funko and Instagram are doing stupid shit. I think it's stupid. I really do. I think it's really silly. And I hate to see it. And I really wish that Cynthia Williams had given me her personal email. I should have asked her for that. I went the distance, Heather, but I didn't go the full distance. Yeah, I should have said...
You went the distance, but you didn't go for speed.
Thank you. I was hoping you would do that. Yep. I should have slid a little piece of paper over to her and said, I'm going to need that email. Give me that email. You think it's like as stupid as like Cynthia@funko.com? It could be. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should just email it and be like, Cynthia, it's Chris Gast. You remember me. And I'll put a little picture of us together. You remember me. I'm here to talk about this whole diss thing. This diss tracker shit. Can we say it was Abernathy all along? Diss should make a t-shirt or something. That would be amazing.
That would be funny.
That would be amazing.
There's actually a lot of people like...
Against him?
Yeah.
I know. Oh my God, it's so unbelievable. It really makes no sense to me why people are against him. People...
No. I'm talking about Abernathy.
Oh, against him?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I mean people are against this, though?
I'm not seeing that on Twitter.
Oh, good. Thank God.
I did see one person post a GIF that says, and get you a Wab burger and some French fries.
Yeah, so people are people get really jealous of this for some reason. Maybe because he has done so well in this whole Funko news game. A lot of other people try to do it, and I know personally, I know that there are some people who try to do it and they just cannot succeed. They can't get the viewership or the followship.
Well, rather. I can tell you part of why. One, there's incredible accounts that dominate, but two, there's so many like dramatic people online.
Yes.
That are just mean for no reason, and that turns people off.
Yes. Oh, you're saying that there are news sources that are like that.
Yes.
Oh.
Like very dramatic, very just like they'll send people to hate on other people.
Yeah, what's up with that?
It's weird.
It is weird. We've had like other YouTube channels send their little armies after us before.
Well, someone on Twitter recently tried. And then they tried to visit us at New York Comic Con at our booth, and I said, fuck you.
Oh, I remember what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that guy's, he's nothing. So, in the grand scheme of life, of what we do, I don't even give a shit to talk about that person.
No, same. But my
and they were shit talkers the whole time. They shit talked to us when they talk to us. They shit talked to us.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
So and we tried to always just stay cordial, but you know, when you're actively telling people on Twitter, you're an adult and you're telling people, hey, go and bully somebody, like that's weird.
We have somebody, as I mentioned before, we have somebody actively attacking any Mischief Toys posts, calling us out, me and you. I believe at one point in time they called us, by the way, this is a quote-unquote meth heads.
No, crackheads.
Crackheads.
Yeah.
They called us that. And I've never done a drug in my whole life, literally. I've never even smoked pot in my life. So for somebody to call me that, it's like you stand back and you look at something like that and you're thinking, where is this coming from? Like, why are they so angry that they would have to say something like this? A lot of anger on the internet. Lots of anger.
Pop Holmes, you're not wrong.
Pop Holmes is great. I love Pop. By the way, go follow Pop Holmes on Instagram. They're really great. Love them. Really. Love them.
Could tell you the story about why that person hates us. But it has nothing to do with us.
No. I know why they hate. I know why. It
has nothing to do with us.
So one of our mods called them the wrong pronoun, and then they took it out on us and screwed us up. Like, they're not screwed us up. Attacked us and tried to screw us up. But they can't. They can't win.
It's like 2.5 years later, and they're still actively commenting on any post about either Gasolcast or Mischief Toys, calling us names, saying that I'm a really mean person.
Saying that Mischief Toys will never succeed, which is really crazy because...
It's very interesting they said that right after New York Comic Con.
So Mischief Toys, year after year, has basically doubled year after year. And here we are in another year, this year, we have basically doubled from last year. And to say that we're not successful is, it's the mind of a person who doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about. And that is the most annoying thing. If you come after us and you say, here's a real grievance I have with you and here's why. We got one last night. And I'll go over that for a second because I do want to go over that. I want to talk about that. And I hate to get off this so much, but if they have real grievances, it makes sense. But when you just start yelling out nonsense on the internet and for not innocent bystanders, but just bystanders to see it, this person may turn off people from checking out Mischief Toys, checking out Gasolcast, or knowing Heather and myself, which is really fucked up because we're not bad people, first off. I mean, unless you think so because we didn't like the Venom and Carnage Funko Pops, but we're not bad people. We care about our fan base. We care about our friends and the people who follow us. And most of you, we know you like by name. We talk to you on a sometimes at least monthly basis. But this person goes out and they try to tarnish our name. But the worst part of it is that while tarnishing our name, they're trying to tarnish Mischief Toys. And again, that does not lead for a good business output. We want to grow Mischief Toys and we want people to find out about Mischief Toys. It doesn't necessarily have to do with Heather and I. It's Mischief Toys, Ghastly, and his fellowship of little buddies and villains. That's what Mischief Toys is, and this person's like, Mischief Toys sucks, nobody should buy Mischief Toys, and Chris and Heather are crackheads. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, what are you talking about? Why would you do something like that?
I don't even drink alcohol.
I would never go out of my way. By the way, go back in all of my videos, all of the videos that we've ever made, I have never sat here and said, never buy from Funko, Funko sucks. I have never said that. I have always been pro Funko, but I have said the things that I don't like about Funko, or things that I don't like what Funko does, or things that they do. I'm very open and honest about that, and I do it on purpose. We do it on purpose because we hope that Funko can make changes. And guess what? I can tell you, it's happened so many times that Funko has reached out and said, we've made changes by doing what we do. In fact, Cynthia Williams herself at New York Comic Con approached us and said, I really love what you guys do. I love that you care about the fans so much. Yeah. And guess who else fucking said that?
Who?
Go ahead, say it.
Brian Mariotti.
That's right. Brian Mariotti, the former CEO of Funko, right? So all of these, channels that are out there that talk about Funko and love them, and then, they talk Funko up all the time, like that's their thing. That's cool. I love it. I think it's great. And they belong in the Funko world for doing that. But we just talk about like the real deal and our real thoughts about things. And people have taken that like we hate Funko. It's crazy. So people get really angry at us.
We'll occasionally get a comment where it's like, do you guys even like Funko because all you do is talk shit about them? And it's like, is it like, are you only watching one video?
You're not watching any videos. Not even one video, because in every video when we have a critique, we always say, we love Funko, we think they're great, and we want them to do better.
We have maybe 1/50th of our collection right here. It is mostly Funko products.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say just right here in this space, there's at least 150 Funko products.
Don't look at the Hot Toys though, because that's...
There's still Funko on the Hot Toy shelves.
Right. I thought you were sponsored by Funko. No, we're not sponsored by Funko. Are you crazy? We're not sponsored by anybody. The only sponsor that we have, I think, at this point is $7 a pop. We work with them. And I need to talk more about them because I love them. Go to $7bucksapop.com and buy yourself all sorts of stuff over there. They've had some really crazy, awesome signature series, by the way, just because I brought it up. Okay, so last night's video. I want to talk about that for a second because we're getting some really, really weird feedback from that, and I feel like I need to clear this up because I don't like anybody to assume anything of me. I like people to come, and if they have a real critique or something, to ask the question instead of telling me what I am or how I'm feeling, because I can tell you. So we made a video yesterday that was all about Thrilljoy. And Chris and Heather have all their teeth, so they're definitely not crackheads. Thank you. Thank you.
Wait, does that make our cat a crackhead? Because he's
missing all his teeth. Yeah,
he's zero.
He's in bad shape.
Poor guy.
But we are fans of Thrilljoy. We like their stuff. We are more sold on the megas than we are on the regular picks. Personally, I think the picks are fun. I think the picks are an interesting idea. But the megas, as we had mentioned previously, he's back there somewhere. The megas are really great. We love them.
Behind you.
Yep, here he is. We love the megas. We got this one. That's the blue Freddy Krueger. Love the megas. I will buy a lot of them. I'll buy more. Super fan of those. And I think that Brian Mariotti's a great guy. I think his whole team are great people. Carissa and others that are there. I'm not going to name others because I don't think they want to be named. But they're really great people. It's a really great organization. Brian Mariotti was building his booth with his team, putting product up, which is unbelievable. Something I never thought I'd see with my own two eyes.
We had gone to the bathroom at New York Comic Con before, I think it was Wednesday.
Yep.
And we peeked over just to see how the booth was coming along, because the way he had described it to us, it sounded really interesting. He described it as if it were he used the word speakeasy. Yeah. And speakeasy is sort of like an underground, bar, right? Yes. Where you need a password.
It looked like a castle is what he built.
It did look like a castle, but it had curtains, and you got brought into the curtains where you then see the really cool setup that they had. It was gorgeous. Yeah. But before the curtains were put up, we were walking back to our booth from the bathroom. I looked in and I was like, oh my God, that's Brian right there. Yeah. And I didn't want to disturb him or anything because they had product all over that convention. Oh yeah. I mean, it almost came back as far as our booth, and we were not super close to it. We were close, but not crazy close. Yep. Right? There were many booths between us and them. Yep. And I was like, man, that's cool.
Yeah. So Thrilljoy, going there before New York Comic Con, we were connected with Thrilljoy, and I mentioned this before. It all had to do with us making a video, sort of uncovering Thrilljoy because somebody messaged us about it, and everybody went after their LinkedIns and the Instagram and tried to figure out what the heck was going on. And then Thrilljoy came to us like, oh my God, what the hell is going on? Which eventually made it where we talked to them and we had conversations and future interviews. And so we interviewed Brian, which is great. And we got to meet him at New York Comic Con.
Can I respond to this comment?
Yeah, of course you can.
James says, I think it's messed up that they left Funko to create another toy company. Okay, let me stop you there. He retired from Funko with the intention of just not doing anything. And then he decided, I can't sit still, so I'm going to start something again.
Yeah, so Brian went into retirement, and he decided to work with some former Funko people to make a new company, which is Throwjoy. Yeah.
How are they getting... basically making knockoff Funkos. How are they getting away with it and not breaking copyright? James, could I ask you what makes you feel like Pix or Megapix are knockoff Funko Pops? Are they Funko Pops? Are they Funkos? What about either of their products that we've seen so far says Funko?
Let's be clear about something. So if you look at a Funko Pop, I got one right here. If you look at this Funko Pop, it has Heather's hair hanging off it, I think. Here's a Funko Pop, and as you can see, it has the black eyes. This one, because it's Marvel, has a bobblehead. Some of them do not have a bobblehead. They look like that. And then it has the little body, right? See? So that's a Funko Pop. Funko Pops. Do I have a Throwjoy around here anywhere? Well, I mean, I got blue.
Here's a Pix.
Here's blue. Oh, you got a Pix? Okay, yeah, hand me a Pix. So Pix... I don't know why the fuck I'm doing this. I shouldn't have to prove this.
No,
you don't have.
I have a box.
I don't know why I'm proving this to anybody because I don't have. Anyway, and it's not the same. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. I don't know what you mean. I can't respond to what you're saying because now you're talking about copyrights. I don't understand even what you're talking about with copyrights. It doesn't make any sense. I think you're great, and I think that you're raising good questions, but I just. My head is not in there right now. So let me get back to what I was talking about. Go and look up throwjoy.com and then put a Funko Pop in your hand next to it because I'm sure you own one and look at both of them. They don't look anything alike. That's first off. Secondly, people are basically commenting that we are working with Throwjoy,
which we're not.
Hold on. We're working with Throwjoy, and therefore now we will never talk bad about Throwjoy. Let me clear this shit up right now. I want to clear this up right here and right now. Throwjoy does not pay us. Throwjoy does not pay us. We have no sponsorship from Throwjoy. Throwjoy is not giving us any money. Throwjoy sent us stuff to review for the interview, so we knew what the hell we're talking about, so we could see it in hand.
Not only that, but they said, we want your real feedback.
Yes. Well, I'm going to get to that. I'll get to that. So when we go to New York, Brian ends up getting his hands around us and basically pulling us over to his booth so we could take a look at it. By the way, he was very interested to see what we do, who we are as people, see what Mischief Toys is about and everything else. I'm going to get into something even bigger than all this here in a second because it's important to know. So when we go over to his booth, Brian pulls us into a room. We sit down, we talk, and he explains to us what he's doing and what the future is of the brand, some of the ideas that he has that obviously we can't discuss any of this stuff, right? It's just like a lot of really cool things he's telling us about. And I was just about blown away. I really was. And he said very clearly, he said, I do not want you guys to change your thoughts, feelings, or anything because of you guys talking to me and us having a good relationship. He goes, I want to know for real what you're thinking. I want real reviews. I want real feedback. He goes, if you ever have any good feedback or feedback at all about what we're doing, I want to know about it. So what did I do? Big Chris, Bull Shop, what is it? Bull and China Shop Chris? I started laying down all my issues. And I said right away, I said, Pix are huge. And I don't know how many people will, I don't know how many people will buy a whole lot of them. Yeah. Like they'll buy one and that's it. And he's like, well, it's great because you can put it in the corner of the room. They all stack. They have lips on them. I was like, well, that's great. I appreciate that. I said, but with Funko Pops, you can store so many of them. And honestly, that's a real issue with Funko Pops. You can buy too goddamn many of them. Yeah. And you can quickly like overrun your whole house with them because of their price point and everything else. And then also on top of that, they have this like secondary value, market value, that people are like, I need to buy them all because one day they're going to be worth something. That was actually not just a blessing, but also a curse. So with the products, we told him right away how we felt. I told him megas are the best thing that you have in this booth right now.
Which is interesting because they're bigger than picks.
Well, he even said that. He goes, well, Chris, what are you talking about? You just said that picks are huge. Now you're saying that everybody is going to like the megas. And I said, well, the megas are just so far different and far out there that I think people are really going to love them. We saw, if you went to the New York Comic Con booth for Thrilljoy, you would have seen all the different characters, Skeletors, and all these different characters that they're making. In fact, one was Spooky Space Kook, and it was such a great figure. It just so happened the one that he had there was like in not very good shape, but fantastic pieces. And I was like, this is it right here, dude. I was like, you should make these. Like, what if you made them smaller, or the little mini ones that they were giving away? What if you like make more of those? Those are amazing too, right? And he was sort of he was in agreement, but I think he also has his own kind of perspective of what he wants to see and what he wants to do with Thrilljoy. And of course, if somebody walked up to me and said, "Hey, Chris, with Mischief Toys, you should do these things," and then just say, "Screw Ghastly," and you make this instead, I would probably say, you know, screw yourself, because we know what we're doing here. We're no dummies. We know what we want to do with with Mischief Toys. So I think he took what we had to say. I think that he listened. I think that he wants to listen more in the future to what we have to say. But no way did he discourage us to say, he did not discourage us saying anything that we really didn't feel. He wants us to say what we feel. He encouraged us to say what we feel. That's what I mean. He encouraged us to say what we feel. And I feel like that guy could have pulled us into a room and said, look, we're going to give you a sponsorship. I'm going to give you all the free shit that you want. I'm going to give you money. I want you, my friend, to become a part of Thrilljoy, and I don't want you to say anything negative about Thrilljoy ever again. I want you to go in front of the camera and constantly say things positive about Thrilljoy. He could have done that, but he didn't. And I think that's humongous, because he probably could. He could sway people if he really wanted to.
He couldn't sway us.
I'm saying he really could sway people if that's what he wanted to do. You need to have critiques when it comes to collectibles. Do you think that we are people who do not get critiques? Now, I like critiques. I like when people come to me and say, hey, Chris, you guys, put this out there, right? And there's something about this thing that I do not like. I think it's cool, but it's missing this thing. I would love to see this in the future. You don't think I write that down and think about that for the future? I absolutely do. I appreciate that. It means a lot to me. I think that's fantastic. Funko does big pops as well. Yeah. They do big Funko Pops, yeah, but they're just not the same. I mean, these guys have accessories and magnetic pieces that come off, and you can put different hands on. There's something really special about it. I think that these figures are just really cool. Somebody said they were childish. I certainly don't think it's childish. It has blood all over it. He has blood on his face. I don't know if that's childish or not. What do you think?
Kids might be really into that. That's not scary or freaky or weird.
He's got jam on his face or something. I don't know. Like
he was eating some toast.
He was eating toast.
And then he dropped it and it splattered.
Well, let me tell you something. And I want to be very clear and blunt about this and honest. And I don't want anybody to misunderstand what I'm saying. I would never in a billion years sit in front of this camera and tell you I thought something when I really didn't. That is not something that I'm willing to do. I'm not willing to just throw things away just for cash money. Look, if I wanted to do that, and if I was looking to do something like that, I probably could have worked with Funko a long time ago, blew them, and gotten everything I wanted to do, like some of these other big YouTubers. Not saying they had to do that, but I'm just saying I would have had to do the dirty deed in order to make sure that happened.
Not literally.
Yeah,
not literally.
Right.
Let's not take what you're saying the wrong way.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone asked if the hands are detachable. Yes.
The hands are detachable, and you can put on different hands, but I have a huge mess. I couldn't even find the other hand if I wanted to. Yeah, so great figure. Hat comes off, by the way. I don't know if you pulled the hat off. hat comes off. That's really great too.
He has syringe finger handles as well.
Something we did not talk about in the video yesterday. By the way, after this, it's probably best that you go watch the video if you haven't watched it, because now you'll understand what the hell I'm talking about. We didn't talk about the boxes for these figures, and I had to comment today. I'm responding to a comment saying, oh, well, let me tell you about why I think that this figure is expensive. The box itself is really, really, really high quality. Gloss, it has like a gloss finish on it. It opens up. It has magnets built into it as well. It is a heavy-duty ass box. I mean, it's humongous, this box. It's expensive to make a box. And how do I know that? Because of Mischief Toys. We spend so much goddamn money on making sure that our Mischief Toys boxes look good and are strong. And so,
fun fact, our original figure, the cheap-ass figure that we had before, that was a bit more fragile than our new figures, and you can tell that it's a newer figure because the box is this orientation, not this orientation. Our boxes were more expensive than the figures.
yes.
If that tells you anything. Boxes are incredibly expensive to manufacture, and we don't even have magnets like Thrilljoy does. I cannot imagine what those boxes cost to manufacture.
100%.
I don't want to know.
So before you go off and say we're pro Thrill, we're super pro Thrilljoy and we're being paid off, you're absolutely wrong. And if you hear somebody else say that, please let them know that that's not true at all. But there is one thing I would like to say, and I think it speaks to the character, Brian Mariotti's character, okay? And maybe I shouldn't be saying this on a live, but I'm going to do it anyway because I feel like it's important. But Brian Mariotti was incredibly sweet to us, and we have been approached never by Funko. We were approached by Thrilljoy. Brian Mariotti approached us, and he was so nice to us and was so open and supportive. He basically said, look, he goes, I'm here for you guys, and whatever I can do to help you, I'm going to do it. And one big door that he's opened for us to help us with is possible help with manufacturing and finding new manufacturing for Mischief Toys, which is huge. And it's going to unlock a lot of stuff for us in the future, which is really great, considering that we didn't think that we had a good relationship with him in the past at all. I thought that Brian Mariotti hated us, quite frankly. We both thought that. We were both kind of afraid to go into the interview and have that discussion with him because we thought that he absolutely hated the two people that we were. But he turned out to be really great. And the reason why I'm saying this and why I'm bringing this all up is that he basically said, we are all together in this collector space, all of us. And he was he knows the realm of collectibles out there in the world right now. I don't know if he's doing his own homework. I don't know if he has people doing homework for him. I don't know exactly really what goes on behind the scenes. But the fact of the matter is he wants to see everybody succeed. And the fact that he talked to us and he's like, Mischief Toys, I think they've been watching us and seeing what we're up to. He of course came over to our booth to see what we're up to, and so did Funko, because people want to know what the fuck Mischief Toys is doing. We've got no licenses. None.
Well,
No, I'm saying we have no licenses. We're not selling. Okay, New York Comic Con, we sold no licenses.
correct.
Right? So for them to walk over to a booth and see that there's a company selling product the way that we were and that we had a fan base like we do, they're like, how the hell are these guys doing this? What is going on? No, so Steve-O Booze, no, definitely not. I know you're making a joke and I see the JK, but absolutely not. So even when he offered us that, it was right after that he's like, I want you to be completely honest about everything. When it comes to Thrilljoy, and I think that's great. I think it's great that he said that, because he, like I said, he could have had us up against the wall, and he's like, I'm going to give you all the things, but you must say all the good things, right? And he didn't do that to us, so I appreciate that. I appreciate him as a person. I think he's a good guy. What will happen with Thrilljoy? I haven't a clue. I mean, Thrilljoy could blow up and be another Funko for all we know, or it could be a kind of a different brand altogether. It's just sort of a higher quality or a higher, Louis Vuitton brand of collectors or collectibles, or it could go off into the sunset and we never see it again. I mean, who knows? I don't know what the future is.
I think there's a place for Thrilljoy. I think 100%. Thrilljoy. the picks are very interesting to me.
Yeah.
They really are. I think that, yes, they are big. Yes, the price point is higher. But I don't think that they don't belong. Like, I think that there is a place for picks.
I certainly
I find them very interesting, and I love that they're doing limited edition pieces.
I certainly believe if they do the 5-inch figure that they gave away there, if they do 5-inch figures, that would be incredible.
What 5-inch?
They did a smaller one of this.
I thought it was like this big.
They did another one in between.
I don't remember.
Yeah, somebody showed us a picture of it. Maybe not you, but I saw it.
No.
So they did like a 5-inch figure, and they gave those away, I think, at that event, and then they did the little ones. They do the 5-inch and the little ones. I think those would kill personally, but I think these megas are something else. They're on a whole different level. If we didn't have this blue and instead it was Skeletor, I think people would be like, "Holy shit, that's really cool." I don't think everybody's on board with blue yet, and I understand that.
I think that a lot of people critiquing Thrilljoy are Funko collectors. I've said that a lot.
Yeah, of course.
Because right now, you know, Brian Mariotti is associated with Funko, even if he's no longer the CEO of Funko. People collect super plastic. And a lot of people who collect super plastic do not collect Funko. Right. They will not even touch Funko.
Right.
They are larger figures. They are very expensive. A lot of them are larger figures. They do have smaller figures, but a lot of them are much larger figures.
Yeah.
They do incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, they sell like $10,000 statues.
I know. It's ridiculous.
There's one at our local tea place. The one in
Columbia?
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a huge figure there, isn't it?
Yeah.
I hope Thrilljoy does a character from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be cool.
I'm down with that. Did he tell you any sneak peeks coming down the line that sounded exciting? Did he? No, I'm saying no. We don't have to say what it is, but I don't. Do we know any? Okay.
Yes.
Well, what I will say is that he had a Jason Voorhees Mega
on display. On
display.
Booth.
Man, that was sick. Like I'm down.
Cool.
I'm so down with that. Yeah. So it's interesting because I thought that Brian, not knowing him at all, and knowing that Thrilljoy was coming up, I thought maybe it would be a bloodthirsty sort of deal. And, he's trying to just beat out Funko and screw Funko, and that was sort of his way of doing things. But what I see instead is him trying to really be in the collector community, and he wants to see everybody prosper and do well. And I think that's great, because that's exactly how we feel as well. I love seeing everybody do well. Look, we're Mischief Toys, but seeing Abominable Toys kill it. Love that. Yeah. Abominable Toys had a pre-order for their new Godzilla today.
Nice.
Fucking awesome. Sold out. Good job. I love seeing that type of shit. How about the Gravies? Love seeing the Gravies.
Incredible.
If you guys haven't gotten the Halloween Gravy, I'm not sure if they're still available. So don't take me up on this, but I believe Smile World has the Gravies, the Halloween ones. They're super sick. So there's a lot to collect out there. You don't have to just stop at one thing. Funko Pops is just like, I always thought Funko Pops was sort of like the entry way into collecting. At least it was for me, and because it's a cheap entry into collecting. So it's nice. Are they on there now?
They do have a handful of Sinister Gravy currently on their website, smileworld.com.
Hey, Dean Kenny. Hello. Glad to have you here. Do you have any future plans for Gargoyle and King Kong Ghastly?
So, any mold that we create, we will do more in the future. We put a halt on Gargoyle because when we released the red one last year, it's really bizarre. When we released the red one last year, the wings were falling off.
Yep.
But the orange one, I think we had like 4 or 5 out of 400 whose wings fell off.
Yes.
Really, but I don't know how that happened. So we had a long conversation with our manufacturer, and they were like, we'll make sure that doesn't happen again. But I still have cold feet on that one.
Yeah.
King Kong Ghastly, nothing is off limits.
But none of this stuff is right now on our docket. Like it's none of it's
correct.
An idea.
So go scroll back up. I'd like to Please. So creating a mold is very expensive, and we don't really profit until quite a few releases come out when it comes to getting a new mold created. They are... I wish I could divulge everything, but that's not the proper thing to do. But it's very pricey to make a mold, and
it's in the thousands.
It is, and that's money that I've never had to like throw around, right? But
right, oh yeah, it's weird.
Like every dollar up until August. Actually, I didn't even pay myself until October.
Right.
I quit my job in August, and I don't give myself much of a salary through Mischief Toys. It's very low. You guys would probably, like, die if you knew how much I gave myself. But it's not very much, because I want to continue to roll every dollar that we have into Mischief Toys. I want to be able to create new cool molds. I want to be able to do really cool paint jobs. I want to be able to do all the things. So, you know... I don't take everything that I feel I deserve, because I want to do Mischief Toys bigger and better. So we will reuse the molds. We actually had a comment the other day, you know, when are you creating a new mold? And I'm like,
yeah, I talked about that on Instagram.
We have. What do you mean?
So
we just released a new
today I showed off 2 molds of the regular Ghastly and showed how many differences there are. But here's a new mold right here that we did this year, right? So Vampire Ghastly. It's hard for a little independent company to do a ton of molds. It just is. It's expensive.
Most companies who have a character, like their own character, don't really create new molds very often. Tiny Ghost, for example, they had the gumdrop looking mold forever.
Yep.
Forever. Just the regular Tiny Ghost with like the arms like this. They reused that mold so many times, and every single one looked so different.
Completely agree.
And that's why I find toys so interesting, because like you could take that mold and you could put so much on it and do so many things with it, and it looks completely different. But anyway, I'm getting off this topic. Would you consider doing a St. Patrick's Day Ghastly based on Uncle Ghastly?
Like that would be the top hat.
Interesting. So like a St. Patrick's Day hat. That's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Last year we released a green glow around the time of like St. Patrick's Day-ish, like March.
Yeah. Where's the Ninjito Ghastly coming? So Ninjito literally disappeared. We have no idea what happened to Ninjito.
Nobody is talking to them.
I was really excited to do something with Ninjito because I really liked their figures. I thought the guy who ran the whole deal was a really good guy. But he just went up, gone, like literally just gone one day. So I don't know. It'll never happen, I guess.
Has there been a date release for the other mega picks that were announced? I want the NYCC one. I haven't seen anything yet.
No information as far as I know.
Yeah. Well, technically he's sharing the licenses with Funko. He was able to get the licensees because of his history with Funko. I don't know if I would. I mean,
I would say he made relationships.
Yeah.
He made relationships.
And I don't think that's a bad thing. That's like what we've talked about before. I worked for a small pop shop for a pretty decent amount of time, and I learned how to use Shopify. Now, this is completely different. We're talking about licenses. But that, you know, I basically gained knowledge of Shopify without realizing it. So it's not like I was trying to compete with the store I was working for. It's just something that I gained while working there. It's experience, right?
It is, absolutely. Does Dank Reviews got the Retro Wave Gravy and Halloween Gravy.
The Retro Wave and Halloween are really cool.
They're both very good. Decepticon Ghastly, man, I would love to do it. I really would. One day. Hopefully one day I can have a Starscream Ghastly made. I would lose my shit.
That'd be cool.
Dean, I know. It feels like we release a lot of molds, but I feel like there is so you have this very tight-knit group of people who follow Mischief Toys and everything that we do. Then you have this outer band of people who follow every once in a while, and they don't pay attention to every little thing, so sometimes they don't see all the new, molds. Then you have this even outer band that barely knows Mischief Toys and they just think we have Ghastly, and then outside of that, people see Ghastly all the time. They don't know really what Mischief Toys is, and they're like, why do they just make the same figure and put a different paint job on it, right? It's funny because I feel like that Heather and I could now be considered as professional toy analyzers or figure analyzers now, because we've learned so much along the way, and we kind of we get excited about new things that come out, and we look at stuff like, I'll give you a prime example. We see all these little tiny ghosts that are coming out now, the soulmates, and how they're doing a different mold every time, and they're doing like 200 counts, and they do something entirely different.
It blows my mind. I don't know how they do it.
We look at that and we're just like, holy shit, how are they pulling that off? Now, it's definitely made out of a different material. And
but
so,
that doesn't account for the mold cost.
Right, but they must have some good relationship or a future thought to do something with those molds. I don't know.
Or maybe it's like completely different. Like, because it is a different material, maybe the molds are made of something different and it's not as pricey.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
That might be what it is.
It could be a price difference or something.
I don't know.
I know Chris loves zombies. Zombie Mortem when? Yes, I want a Zombie Mortem. When? I don't know. Abominable Toys and Dumpster Fire slightly manipulate the mold, so that's what's wrong.
So what's wrong?
What's wrong with you guys? Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. I don't know. We I think what happens with us, with Mischief Toys, because GastroCast has always been a critique channel, for the most part, and we've always critiqued how Funko does things. So I think some people are just like, let me give them a little taste of their medicine, and that's fine. I mean, we can take it. It isn't like we're gonna lose sleep over it, but
make it make sense.
Well, first off, make it make sense, and also, if you're going to talk to us, like, give us a critique that we can work with instead of, like, you guys suck, and you're horrible, and you're the worst I've ever seen in my entire life, and screw you, and everything else. Because that quite often is sort of the response that we receive from people, for whatever reason. I don't know. People just hate Heather and I, and they don't even know who we are. That's the messed up part. You know what's really funny? Speaking of that, Brian Mariotti even said to us, he came up to our booth, he goes, I really appreciate that we did that interview. He goes, people are approaching me and they're saying, wow, I always hated you. But now after I watched the interview, you're more human and I like you now. And he even looked at us and he goes, what did I do to these people? Is what he said. And I was like, Brian, I said, you ran this big company and then people are upset with the outcome of where it's going. I said, so of course you're being blamed for that. I said, we didn't really help because we said a lot of things on our channel about Funko and everything else. So, I mean, I think that people just got the wrong idea, but it's changed. Hopefully more interviews to come with Brian Mariotti, and we can talk to him a little bit more and get to know him as the person instead of the CEO of Funko, the basically multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar company. Please call Zombie Mortem post-mortem. Hell yeah, I like that. That's good.
Can't say I haven't thought that myself.
I know.
That's fun.
Dish Trackers commented on our Instagram saying, thank you for servicing me. Of course, we're always happy to do that. Yeah, so this was all about Dis. And look, Dis is...
No, it wasn't.
Well, that's what the live was.
It was supposed to be.
But this is a good person. And Funko Finders is here too. Great guys. And I met them in person, so I can say that wholeheartedly. And I feel like they do service us, as I joke all the time, but they do offer a service that is incredibly good or incredibly appreciated by the Funko fan base if they like it or know it or not.
It's free.
People even complain about them, which is unbelievable.
It's they are giving you free data.
Yes.
And the fact that people aren't outraged by his Instagram being taken down is insane to me. If you're a Funko collector and you've ever clicked a link or you've ever received info of a new figure that you're excited in based off of a post by Funko Finders, by Dish Trackers, by Funko Pop News, by Scarlet Joker, by any of these Funko news sources, you're part of the reason that they exist, right? Yep. I mean... Exactly. They share so much stuff with us we get that information for $0. Why anyone would be negative about their accounts blows my mind.
I know. It doesn't make any sense.
It's stupid.
So Funko Finders actually said something very sweet.
Oh, Funko Finders is here. Hi, Funko Finders.
Funko Finders says, Ghastly's success comes from the strong brand connection you've built. Once Thrill, Joy, and Blue have that, their popularity could grow too. Yeah, I agree. I completely agree with you on that.
I also think there's a market somewhere, and it has not helped that Thrill, Joy, and Brian is connected with Funko, which in turn connects Thrill, Joy to Funko, even if it's not supposed to be that way. So I feel like the market right now, there's a lot of Funko collectors seeing them, and not collectors of like larger things or more expensive things, which, you know, I think that Thrill Joy has its place somewhere, but I just don't know how they can get. I'm not like a marketing expert, right?
Right.
I think that if they were seen by people who collect figures that are more similar to the like the larger Thrill Joy picks and mega picks, I think that they will be very successful. And realistically, when we were at New York Comic Con, I saw so many Thrill Joy bags.
Right.
So many. And I was even thinking to myself, like, I know how big those things are. People's shoulders should be falling off.
Oh my God.
Like,
yeah.
The bags were like as big as Funko's. They were ginormous. I could fit in one of those bags.
Absolutely. Kevin Piano says, I hope success for Heather. I guess he's saying fuck Chris.
Thank you, Kevin.
Dude, you guys are professional toy makers. Let's get that part straight, and we can all love Mischief Toys. Can I get a hell yeah from the room for Mischief Toys? Oh, thank you. That is so sweet of you to say that. Dr. J. Pops is here. Hell yeah for Mischief Toys, Ghastly, Demonstro, and Mortem. Everyone in the room, give me a hell yeah. Come on, let's go. Hell yeah, let's go. Come on. Thrill, Joy, Cause would take off. I think so too. That would be great. How about Mischief Toys and Cause? That'd be kind of fun too, right? Met this last year at SDCC and NYCC. This year, he is a great guy. I completely agree. Both he and Funko Finders, they both came up to us, and you know, you never know what you're gonna. People don't know what they're gonna get out of us when they're gonna come and meet us. So for all they knew, that we were just two jack-offs, but they found out that we're good people too, right? We have personalities on YouTube.
Nick Mastromiko said, I'm actually mad at Dis and Funko Finders. If not for them, I would have a lot more money in my bank account and so many less pops in my house. JK.
There you go.
You're not joking. I know you're not joking.
All right, that's 100% true.
Because I feel the same way.
Yeah. No, these guys are great. And they are the reason, I would say, within at least last 10 years of Funko's success.
The top one. Right there.
I only buy like 1 or 2 pops each year, so not really a collector. But just love watching Chris and Heather. Good people, and wish them the best of luck. Thank you, Gretch Zeppelin. That is so sweet of you. That is so sweet. I can't believe I don't have more hell yes. I know. What's going on with that, Dust Dank Reviews? Come on, man. You deserve more than that. There we go. We're getting some hell yes. There we go. 100% Nick Mastromiko. They help bankrupt. They help bankrupt me all the time. Yeah. Cause would be great, Soggy Biscuits. I'd be down with that. I'm, you know, Heather and I are always down with partnerships and working with people and doing new things and finding new avenues for our business. If anybody out there has hookups to Cause or any of those types of guys, please let us know. Would love to do it. Thank you, Dust Tank Reviews. I appreciate you, man. We got stopped by workers at New York Ferry asking about what the Thrill Joy bags were because they saw so many bags go through. Yeah, hell yeah. I know. It was massive. Those bags are humongous. People were dragging them across the floor practically half the time while they were there. It was unbelievable. But yeah, so Thrill Joy, that's one thing. Want to see them prosper. Want to see them do well. I really, truly believe in what they're doing. Funko, I hope things get better with them. They definitely need to get this back in business. Come on. I feel like we could all do something. I don't know. Can we all make a post on Instagram and tag Funko and say bring this back or something?
I don't. Like, it's not Funko though.
Yeah. or Instagram, go and yell at Instagram. I don't know, but we should definitely get Dis's account back. He deserves it. He worked really hard to get it to where it is today. It just really sucks that we're still here after all these weeks. It's still gone. Blue Ghastly, let's go. I would work with Thrilljoy any day. I really would. It'd have to make sense. Like, I want it to be cool and fun and make sense. Reach out to Scarstead Gallery in New York for cause relations. Thank you. I appreciate that. Heather, can you write that?
Yes.
Can you write that down, please? Type it out. It's not on Funko right now. Let's call out Meta. Exactly, Pop Holmes. Absolutely agree. We got to call out Meta.
So people are allowed to post, you know, the craziest stuff, insult people, say really nasty words to each other, but Dis gets taken down, and they get to keep their account, and Dis gets taken down because he posted a picture that somebody else shared. That's stupid. That is stupid.
Yeah.
Very stupid. I hate it.
Yep. All Zuckerberg's fault. That son of a bitch.
More like Fuckerberg, and I can say that because this isn't Facebook.
I was asked about where to get Funko bags by a parking attendant near the ferry as I was struggling back to the ferry. Wow, no kidding. Strange thing about Thrilljoy hate is that the folks critiquing it have never either seen one in person or held one. I have a few, and they are completely worth the money in my opinion. Brian Barrick, thank you. He always says it best. Yeah, I think they're great.
I agree with that. And let me tell you something. It is easy to critique something that you have never held in your hand. Because you know what I hated when I saw it? That Funko did.
Something you hated that Funko did?
What did I hate from Funko that I saw in an image before I saw it in hand?
I feel like I should know this. Was it the biddies?
Sodas.
Oh, sodas. We both kind of hated them.
I hated the idea of sodas.
Yeah, I remember
I hated them. I don't know what video it was, but there was a video we posted right before sodas came out when we saw what they looked like, and I absolutely hated one. I got them in hand, and I fell in love.
Yep.
I fell in love. Now, it's a little bit different than, like, a $50 figure, because with a soda, I mean, if you get it and you hate it, you're only out, at the time they were like $15, I think.
Yeah.
So it didn't really matter, right? But I things are much different when you actually see it for yourself. And if it's still not for you, then it's still not for you. But at least, you know, you're critiquing something that you can see, right?
And then also, you know, no matter what collectible it is, you may not like them or you're not totally into them, but then they'll drop something that's like really up your alley, and it's like a character that you love, or a colorway that you really like.
If we had received like an anime soda in hand or something that I don't care about, I probably would have been a bit more hateful.
If it were all anime, I wouldn't have been in.
The first one we got, I think, was a Pennywise.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it was a Pennywise.
Yeah. But but any collectible company has all anime or mostly anime, I just wouldn't be in it because I'm not an anime guy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be hateful. I'm just not in it. Today is not my 41st. It was yesterday. Thank you for the birthday wish. Yesterday was great. I had a great birthday. Heather always outdoes herself with breakfast and dinner. Went to my family's, visited them for some food. I was totally off my diet yesterday, but for good reason. I ate so much. And it was great. Heather got me my Twizzlers. I had pumpkin pie twice. One time in like early afternoon, and then another time at night. While I think it was before we played Call of Duty together.
Yep.
I love pumpkin pie so much, so that was a real treat for me. That's what happens when you get old. You're looking forward to pumpkin pie. Thrilljoy is a bit different because many people feel they're just too big. Competing for space in collectors' collections and potentially on retail shelves is crucial for business growth. Completely agree. I think the difference with them maybe is that they are big, they are a bit more expensive, so therefore people are limited in what they will buy, meaning that they will not fill up their bedrooms. I think one of the biggest problems with Funko is that you could oversaturate the market pretty quickly because they make a ton, they're very cheap, anybody can buy them, and you can buy basically a whole collection at one time, which leaves most of us with a home that is full of Funko product. Now, after everything has sort of played out.
It is very easy to get up to 1,000 Funko Pops. We have probably 2,000 Funko Pops.
I would say right around.
Yeah.
Right
And
around.
we've probably owned, as collectors, our entire time collecting, you know, things that come in and out of our collection, things that come into our home that we give away, stuff like that. I'd say we have at least put our hands on like 6,000, 7,000 Funko products.
Right.
Easy.
Oh, yeah. Easy. Yeah,
Minimum.
We think we've seen it all in this house.
Yeah.
Any updates on the 24 NYCC documentary being put up? Nothing yet. So our friend is Zachary Stone is working on it. He's been off and on. I don't really know where he is with it. I got to get.
He filmed a lot. He filmed a lot. I mean, that camera was going, I would say, minimum of 6 hours a day, if not 9, 10, 11 hours a day.
Yeah, so it's a lot of footage. I'm excited to see what the outcome is because I really had no hand in it, which is sort of what I wanted. I wanted it to be a take from not me, like sort of behind me, so to speak, or in front of me. I wanted a different, thing altogether this year. Did I get into any Allen snakes? No, I didn't. Believe it or not, I ate Twizzlers instead. Allen snakes I'll probably eat next weekend. I always have a cheat day and I have a little snack in it, and I'll probably have some Allens. I usually always do. I love them. Chris, you got me into Abominable Toys, and the night I ordered Egyptian Chomp, when I got it, I got an artist proof. Yeah, man, that's awesome. And so guess what? I'm hooked. And I just got the Heat Ray Godzilla. Hell yeah, dude. And you got the Gravies too. Good for you, man. That's awesome. What a collection you're building. I'm so happy to hear that. Mortem Thanksgiving Turkey. Of course, I'm always down for Mortem being more involved.
I'm down for Mortem being a turkey. That's weird.
We want to do more Mortem. Look, if you go over to MischiefToys.com, you can go ahead and pick yourself up a Day of the Dead Ghastly. We have some still available on the website. We also have a Halloween Demonstro. We have protectors on there for all of our figures.
Not all of them, but most of them. Including, we just put up, when we got back home from New York Comic Con, Mortem protectors. And we got more Ghastly protectors.
Yep. So there's stuff available on MischiefToys.com. Go and get yourself something special. We are signing a handful of the Day of the Dead Ghastlies. So if you order one, you have a chance at getting a signed one. So if you ever wanted one signed, some people don't go to the convention, this is your chance of getting one. And we got a bunch of shirts and hats on there as well from New York Comic Con, so go grab something. It's always nice. And then we got some the Zombie Ghastly pull-aparts. You can go get one of those too. Additionally, compared to similar premium brands like Sideshow and Designer Toys, which space out there releases, Throwjoy has over 70 SKUs. Yeah, the 70 SKUs, dude, that was a lot.
That was a whole lot.
That was a lot. That was a lot. Very overwhelming, for sure.
Yeah, but that's another thing about them, though. All of the SKUs were so... I think they had multiple of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, if I'm not mistaken. I really didn't even look at the list of what they had for sale. I'm just going off of what I saw. I think it's
good. I think it's good to have the opportunity to buy what you want versus buying everything. And we talk about that with Mischief Toys all the time, that we want people to buy what they want and what they want to add to their collection instead of being not everybody has to be a completionist. There are completionists out there, which is great. And we love completionists just as well as we love people who buy one figure per year. I think that's what makes collecting special. I think that's what makes collecting personable, I guess. Gives you, fits your personality. I think that's cool. Do we have any protectors for Uncle Ghastly?
As of right now, no, but those are coming soon. We also have Tiki coming soon. We have nothing available for Kong yet. There are only 200 Kongs released. I'd like to get another couple of Kongs in the pipeline before releasing protectors for Kong. just because they are, you know, like everything, manufacturing something is a lot.
Yep.
But I that is something I would like to do in the future, for sure. I might even, you know, I have some stuff to pick up from $7 a pop. I might take one over and see about at least getting it measured and get a quote.
Gotcha.
Because $7 a pop is who makes our protectors. We just get them branded with Mischief Toys and we sell them.
Kevin Piano wants a Maryland Mortem.
Ooh.
That'd be kind of fun. I like that idea actually a lot. You might see that.
Thrilljoy, Thrilljoy should consider a single shadow box. What do you mean a single an interchangeable display parts, figure, and background.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That's a very interesting idea. So you have one, but then you replace the background and you replace the character inside.
Mm-hmm.
My
idea to Brian when we talked about this. Oh, go ahead.
The only thing though is the frames are much different.
Right.
From each other, but you could do that with like one different license. Like for example, Lord of the Rings.
Right.
They could have that frame and it'll say like Lord of the Rings or whatever. And then they could interchange the background and the Lord of the Ring characters, and maybe even the nameplates could be magnetic or something.
But now you're changing. It's not a collectible anymore.
Yeah,
now
it's more
like,
of a display
it's like a display toy kind of, I don't know.
Yeah.
But here's my idea
But that's an interesting idea.
The idea I shot to Brian was what they should do is make them the picks, right? Maybe not even the full-size picks, but make them a little bit smaller. And they make a bunch of them that basically would make up a story for a movie. So as an example, I started it this way. It would be like Lord of the Rings, like the Fellowship. It's like or like the beginning, the Fellowship of the Ring, and it's like Frodo, right? And he's at, you know, what's that called? Where do they live? Shit, like the little hobbit houses or whatever. The Shire.
I don't know.
Shire.
I've never
the Shire.
seen
So you'd have that, and then maybe you would have another one, or let's say that's the first one, and the last one is the ring being thrown into, you know, the volcano or whatever, right? But then you would have a bunch that were in between to make that full story up. And it would have to be like play by play, but it would be enough where you would understand the story of Lord of the Rings. And I told him you could make it into like a 9-piece thing, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then it would be one big gigantic square thing. But then you would release them like the first one would be released like 1 month, and then the second month the second one would be released, and they're all limited number, right? So you get them in hand and you have like a finished set, and not everybody can finish a set or something like that. That was sort of my idea.
But would that discourage people?
I don't know, because, you know, not only that, the pieces could also stand alone and tell their story about Lord of the Rings, right? Mm-hmm. Your favorite character's in there with his favorite background or whatever the case may be.
Now, did you mention to him that they should be smaller?
I said that it would be nice if they were smaller.
Got it.
Yeah, so I kind of threw that around as well. But, you know, this is his baby. I can't tell him what to do. I just gave him ideas, and maybe those weren't the ideas he was looking for, or the critiques he was looking for.
Or maybe they were.
Or maybe they were. I don't know. Who knows?
Gray Stark asks, has Mischief Toys ever considered downgrading packages for cost purposes? No. Packaging is really important to us, and, you know,
That's a very good question, though.
It is.
That's a very good question. The reason why the box is so important to me is that it tells you a story as you're opening it and everything else. And also, it is a barrier of protection for the figure that's inside. I've actually got a Day of the Dead Ghastly right here. But I like that when you open it, it like tells you a story about this particular figure, and I think it's beautiful. It has like really beautiful artwork all over it.
There's the ofrenda that's set.
Yep, there's the ofrenda, and then of course you have a story on the back that tells you everything, and then of course on the inside you have the rules and everything for Ghastly. I think presentation is very important. If I were to sell you this figure in a plastic box and I said it's $50, I think that's a big issue. But the fact that it comes in a really nice box with great artwork, a story, it's got everything kind of wrapped into it in this nice little package. I think it's great. If we sold them in a plastic box, like a Funko Pop box, I feel like it just degrades it. I don't think that what you're saying or that question was a horrible question. I think it's a great question. But I think it's better to have a higher end piece. That's in my opinion.
What's your dream license?
Dream license for me is obviously Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead, the films series from George A. Romero. Those would be my tops. What was yours?
Honestly, I've never really thought about it. I mean, there's things that I've suggested, let's try to do this.
But think of a dream one, like one that we might not be able to obtain. I thought you'd go Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare on Elm Street is definitely a top for me. I feel like that would be very interesting. But I don't really know how much we could do with that. You know what I mean?
With Freddy?
Yeah, I mean, you could do some things.
Yeah.
But, realistically, like the two things that stand out are the glove, obviously, so that would require a different mold, and then the syringe glove, which would require another different mold, and we're just, at the level that we're at currently, we're not there, right? We can't just willy-nilly.
If we got the license, we would do it. Right? I mean,
it would depend on what the license entails, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, that would be like a dream for me.
One I really wanted to do was Terrifier, because I feel like that's something we could do.
That would be a very interesting one, because we sort of have, I don't want to call Ghastly like a horror character, but realistically he's like a little
monster, dude.
a little monster. Mm-hmm. So I think that horror would fit really well on Ghastly.
100%.
It would be a great one. It would be really great.
It would be cool.
Clowns are very interesting. Yeah. We have done a clown Ghastly, but not Pennywise.
Yeah, I agree. That would be cool. It would be cool. Okay. Thrilljoy has many opportunities to improve its acceptance among the masses. However, as Brian mentioned, this is primarily a passion project for him, so his bank account isn't reliant on his success. Yeah.
That's actually... Yeah, I believe that to be true. I don't think that
Ghastly Krueger.
Yeah, that would be fun. I don't know if he's necessarily going after, like, it doesn't seem to me like he's going after this for money. It's like, yes, he wants it to succeed, but it almost feels like when we talk to him, like it's something he needs to get out of his system.
Yeah.
Like he needed to do something. And I don't want to say he doesn't want to succeed. He for sure wants to succeed. But I don't think he's relying on succeeding.
Right.
If that makes sense.
That's interesting. So somebody in the comments on a video, on last night's Thrilljoy video, they said that Blue having two claws or two gloves on turned them off. They said that it's not.
He only has one.
It's not Freddy. It's Wolverine at this point.
Yeah, he only has one. Same with the syringe fingers. He only has one. But my thought is that he's almost like cosplaying as Freddy.
Right. Exactly.
But I am curious why they did choose two gloves versus one.
One or like a hand. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why they did that.
Like one glove and one hand.
I don't know. I think it's fun either way.
Harry Potter? Honestly, no. I have a really weird relationship with that. I don't like the person that J.K. Rowling has proven herself to be. And when I do buy Harry Potter merchandise, I feel guilty for it because of who she is, and I know that I am supporting her in some way. But I sort of justify that as, that's... She gave me something that was like such a big part of my childhood and like teenage years, because I sort of grew up with Harry Potter. I've explained this a few times on the channel. I read my first Harry Potter book when I was like 11 or 12, and in the book, that was his age. And then I remember getting to, I think it was like book 3, when I finally had to like start waiting for the releases. I think Prisoner of Azkaban came out like right as I turned like, I think I was like 13. And then the next one came out, and I was his age too, right? It was a really interesting experience, and that's such a hard question. I do love Harry Potter.
Yeah, I know.
I love Harry Potter so much.
Has anyone made a Freddy custom Ghastly? No. Not that I'm aware of. Yeah, I don't believe so. Typically, RJ gets to all that stuff first, but I don't think I've seen anything from him recently when it comes to that.
Go up, please.
Let's see. Ghastly already has long fingers. You get away with it by painting his hand.
Yeah, possibly.
Does Dank Reviews is selling his entire Funko collection.
Oh, wow.
Nightmare on Elm Street would be cool. How hard is the process of attaining a license? Is it only money dependent?
No.
So no, it depends. So what they really want is for you to come up with like slides, like a slideshow, to explain who you are, what you do, what kind of business you have, how much money you've made. They want to know all that. And so certain licenses are very picky on who they work with. Disney is most likely one of those. I don't know much about them, but I've reached out to a few, and some have responded, some have not at all. But I don't know. I feel like we've got some connections now, and I'm hoping that we can use those connections to get us to where we want to be.
And some licenses want a guaranteed amount from a deal, where some licenses don't really care. They're like, hey, we're going to make this. We have to approve it. There's certain rules you have to follow, but we want X percent or X amount, or, you know, whatever the case may be. So it varies from license to license, and some are very, very particular, very strict, and others don't really care so much as long as they dig it. And we're currently working with a license that has been very easy to work with, and we got the okay for the figure. We have not sent them the box yet.
Right.
Which is interesting.
TMNT Ghastly would seem feasible. Cool. Eastman pimps out those IP like candy. I would love to do that. I think that would be great. Thank you for that idea. Because I certainly would make a new mold for that. And the reason why it would work so well for us is that if we did make a new mold, a turtle mold, or Ghastly dressed as a turtle, we could make all the different turtles that way, right? We could do all sorts of fun stuff with them.
Yeah, that would be fun.
That would be really fun. I would really enjoy to do that. Okay, Mikey, thank you. All right, so it's getting late. I'm tired. Right now it'd be 10:45, right? That'd be the time right now. Because I feel like I'm getting worn out. I don't know why. As proven by Mondo, Real Ghostbusters, they were focused to charge as much as they are because of a certain toy company. Yeah. Same mold would be great, dude. Yeah, Funko Finds, you're the best. Thank you for even mentioning that. I didn't even think of that. The Monstro Shredder seems pretty easy idea too. Yeah, 100%. We could do some cool stuff with that. I was thinking Casey Jones Mortem, but I don't know if that would work. Maybe. But that's all we've got. Look, we're tired. I've been rapping all day. We're going to get all this stuff out this week from Mischief Toys. So sorry if we're a little slow. Patrons, we're getting out the prizes out this week as well. I know we're really far behind, so please bear with us. We appreciate your support and appreciate you guys bearing with us. We've gotten some emails. We're trying to reply back as soon as we can to let everybody know, hey, things are still rolling. We're getting through it all. One thing, after the next, we're getting through it. Yes. Today I was focused on doing both stickering the figures and also the new prints. I was focused on getting the prints all situated. Yeah, so again, if you've purchased from Mischief Toys between New York Comic Con and now, things are just all over the place. We're not getting things out in order. Some people have received Zombie Plush. We sent out very few of those. There's no rhyme. I mean, there is a rhyme or reason in the order of which I do things. But if I even tried to explain it, it would take me all night. But the long and short of it, or the short of it is, or the short story is,
our warehouse is so disorganized right now that I'm basically finding boxes, printing labels based off of, you know, what's right in front of my face.
Right.
It's crazy.
So just a really quick note, Thrilljoy Seeker posted something. This is interesting. It's a story. It's on Instagram, Thrilljoy Seeker _. So this is going to be a Thrilljoy news source. So listen to this. One thing Mariotti had always hoped to have worked out with Funko, he explained, was a partnership with Nintendo. And he feels that he is more likely to get it to work out at Thrilljoy.
I can tell you why.
Well, he's going to tell you why.
Oh, is he?
He explained that Nintendo struggled with the way Funko would depict their characters off-model, as the brand would do this, as the brand would do with its products.
What do they mean off-model?
So it wouldn't look exactly like their characters.
Okay.
It looks like the fat little bodies. At Thrilljoy, though, Mariotti says they would be more willing to go on model, but like at a super elevated level.
Interesting.
We're more likely to get it here, not because of anything that we did wrong at Funko. I think we're more willing to go on model, but like at a super elevated level. Where Nintendo always struggled with us, they always liked our products at Funko, was that the off-model thing was difficult for them. So that's great.
Okay, so my thought was going to be, I know that they have Amiibo.
Right.
And I figured, you know, maybe Funko is more likely to get confused with Amiibo. Like they're too close almost. So Thrilljoy.
Is Amiibo still a thing?
I believe so. So
you don't hear about them anymore.
My thought was Thrilljoy is so different that there couldn't be like confusion.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's an interesting thought. I never thought about that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking before you just read that.
Interesting. Okay. Very good.
I don't know.
Yeah, I would like to see them work with Nintendo. That'd be great. Man, imagine we work with Nintendo. Come on, Heather. That would never happen. How cool would that be?
Would you imagine a Toad Ghastly?
Right.
I'm the best!
Oh my God, Heather,
I love Toad.
No, Heather, no. All right. That's it. Thank you all. We love you guys. We appreciate your support. You're the best. Blue Mega dressed as any Nintendo character would be epic. 100% agree.
Oh my gosh, could you imagine a blue dress as Princess Peach?
Yeah, right. It would be crazy as shit.
That would be so much fun. Like a big puffy dress.
Right. Amiibo is a thing and look exactly like the character. So there you go. Cam was here. Final words from Cam. All right, that's it, everybody. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a really great week ahead of you. We have new videos coming out for you every single day, per usual. We'll be back here next Sunday to hang out with you. I can promise you one thing. This week we'll have no Mischief Toys drops. None at all. We are wiped out. What? Oh. There might be a shirt pre-order.
Yeah.
And a hoodie pre-order.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to give you guys a break, but I also want to get this stuff out so that you guys have it in your hands.
There we go.
I'm trying to find the perfect time. I don't think there's ever a perfect time.
Oh, boy. Know. Okay. Well, we'll see what happens. Stay tuned.
Wait! Zombie Monkey said, imagine a Ghastly like from Pokemon.
Oh, my God.
Could you imagine?
So many people, by the way, real quick, so many people say, oh, you're going to get in trouble because Ghastly Pokemon, people say it all the time. I don't know where they're coming from. We own the trademark on Ghastly, okay? We own it. It's ours. If you go and look up trademarks, you look up Ghastly, go and look it up. You'll see. We own it. Ghastley. It is ours, baby. We're here.
Pokemon never trademarked Ghastly. Mischief Toys, we spent like 2 years in the trademark process to get we got it like what, a year ago?
Yes.
Or something?
Eric, we did not get that Godzilla chump. I'm not a Godzilla fan, but I am getting some from our friends at Plastic Empire, I think, or Abominable Toys, so we can give some away. That's the plan right now, at least, for a patron on Patreon. Because I think Godzilla's cool, but it's not my thing. What can I say? But I think the figure's awesome.
You know, it's really annoying you say that because I remember you going crazy over the 10-inch Godzilla and Kongs. And it drove me crazy because they're huge.
I know, but I like their colorway.
I know you do.
Yeah, I like the colorway a lot. Yeah, but that's all I can say. Okay. But I think the figure's fantastic. It's sold out today. Congratulations, everybody got that Godzilla thing. It's cool. It glows in the dark, too. It's badass. Okay, so there you go. All right.
Robo Lizard, it doesn't matter. The spelling doesn't matter, surprisingly. So we actually changed... Hold on. I'm sorry. We're trying to get off of here. But we initially named Ghastly Gastly. When we decided that we're actually going to make this a business, we said, oh shit, there's a Pokemon named Ghastly. We need to figure out how to change this name. So we did Gastly, and we found out that the spelling has nothing to do with the trademark.
Exactly.
I mean, to a certain extent.
Bang.
But it wouldn't matter if Pokemon owned the word Ghastly with an Ly. If we tried to go after Ley, they could still fight it even if there's a different spelling if they owned it.
Yes.
It's very confusing.
There you go. Heather has spoken. Confusing. Okay. See you later, everybody. We love you. We'll see you next week. Or we'll see you every day this week on our new videos. And maybe even live on Instagram. You never know. See you later. Bye.
Bye.